Welcome to E-Rock's Locks of the Week for UFC RIO. We're in Brazil. It's Charles Olivera versus Mateusz Gamrot. We have Walter Walker on the card. There's a gang of Brazilians on here, but the card is mid. The card is absolutely mid. The UFC didn't stack this right. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking at this card and I'm just like, these fights look stale, except for Walter Walker. Walter Walker and the main event are literally the only saving grace of this card. How is Davidson Figueiredo on this card? I understand he's Brazilian, but didn't he just get his knee snapped in half by Corey Sandhagen? How are you making that quick of a comeback? I don't know. I'm a little questionable about that. We're going to get into everything. You already know. It's just like every other week. We're going to sit with you. We're going to build a parlay. We're going to go through the the best bets of the week, lock some shit in, and we're gonna start with the easiest lock of the week. The easiest money on this whole card is Walter Walker versus Muhammad Usman. If you don't know, Walter Walker, Johnny Walker's half brother, is on a 3-fight heel hook spree, all in round one. Like, I don't think you guys understand how spectacular this is. This dude is in heavyweight. He is 6'6", 244 pounds, and in his last 3 fights has heel hooked all of his opponents in the first round. Extremely, aggressively and just beautifully with his technique. Walter Walker, in my personal opinion, is the biggest threat to the heavyweight division that we have ever seen. He is fighting Muhammad Usman, a dude who literally has the words "The Motor," which is his little nickname. He has "The Motor" tattooed on the leg that Walter Walker is going to grab. This dude is not protecting his ankles. I'm going to be honest with you. Muhammad Usman is not protecting those ankles. Kamaru Usman, his brother, has terrible knees, and I think Muhammad Usman is about to have some bad ankles, if you ask me. So Walter Walker is obviously the heavy favorite. The heavy favorite coming into this. If I could just find the fight, if E-Rock could just find the fight, you know what I mean? I just need to find Walter Walker. Is it not up? Am I insane? Am I absolutely insane, or is this fight not up? It's not even up. They don't even have this fight on DraftKings. I'm recording this Thursday night. It's about to be Friday. Why is this line not out yet? Are we being serious? It's not here. It's not here. Okay, whatever. I mean, I guess we're just not allowed to make money, Drat. Thanks, Drat. You know, every time I do this show, every fucking time I do this show, no matter what card it is, no matter if it's UFC 320, no matter if it's Fight Night Brazil, no matter if it's Macy Barber versus whoever, whatever card that was, they're always missing some fight on DraftKings or any sports book. They're always missing a key fight right before the event. It's like they want people to live bet this shit. They don't want people to do their research and figure it out. All right, but we're locking in Walter Walker. Now, he is on a 3-fight submission winning spree, but I just saw in his Show Me the Money podcast, that podcast with Renato Moicano, he said, look, why do I have both of them up? That's a little weird. But he said, look, I know that everybody expects me to submit Muhammad Usman. I'm on a 3-fight heel hook winning spree, but I'm going to knock him out. That's what Walter Walker said. Do I believe him? Yeah, sorta. I wouldn't have believed him if he sat here and told me in my face, hey man, I'm going to heel hook the next 3 opponents I get in the first round and nobody's going to understand it. I wouldn't believe him, but hey, he's done it. Look at the betting, look at the fight prediction lines. Only 5% think that Muhammad Usman is going to get this W, and 65% of the people who picked Kamaru Usman's brother went via decision. They don't even think that he has the stopping power to get Johnny Walker's brother out of there. Look, Walter Walker, I don't think he's ever hit. Oh yeah, he did go to a decision with Lucas Brodesky. What a fluke of a loss. What a fluke of a loss, by the way. But besides this fluke of a loss, which was his first fight ever in the UFC, first fight ever facing real comp, he has not lost in the UFC. You know, that needs to be kind of looked at. Like, Merab did that. He lost his first 2 fights coming into the UFC. There's a bunch of, notable fighters who have lost their first 2 or first fight in the UFC and just went on to absolute greatness. Sometimes you have to take an L in life, boys. Sometimes you have to take an L. Now, if we're looking at other locks of the week, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This card is mid. Absolutely mid. So to spice some things up, we're going to crack this main event off right now. So Mateusz Gamrot is going to be fighting Charles Olivera in this main event, and Charles Olivera is returning very quickly after getting sparked unconscious by Ilia Topuria. I don't think that Charles Olivera is going to be ready to deal with an exchange. I don't think he's going to be happy to feel Mateusz Gamrot's power. I do think Mateusz Gamrot is more dominant than Charles on the ground. Obviously, Charles has more submissions. Bro has been in the UFC for about 16 years. Charles Olivera has been in the UFC for about 16 years. Charles was saying, I didn't think I was going to lower my chair. Charles was saying, I don't know why you guys are asking me about retirement. I haven't even thought about it. Maybe because you're suffering traumatic brain injuries in front of thousands and thousands of people, and we're just a little concerned about you, bro. You made your millions. You have your gym team. You definitely are a part of other people's training camps. So you can get a cut of whatever money the UFC throws them. It could be time for you to hang it up. Bro was originally supposed to go out there and fight Rafael Fiziev. He's lucky Fiziev pulled out. He's lucky Fiziev pulled out because Fiziev was going to plan to put on a striking clinic, and I didn't think that you were going to be able to handle that. Just look at the Khalil Roundtree versus Yuri fight. After Khalil Roundtree went to war with Alex Pereira and suffered great bodily injury, his brain felt that power coming from Yuri Prochazka in the third round and just shut off. Boof. Shut him down. Shut him down, boys. We're getting hit too many times too often. I think that's going to happen to Charles Olivera. He's returning extremely quickly after that knockout, and it was not a TKO, I'll tell you that. That was not a technical knockout hitting Charles Olivera. All right? Mateusz Gamrot beat Arman Tsarukyan dominantly, by the way. That shit was not a robbery. I do not want to hear it from anybody in my comment section, okay? I think that Mateusz Gamrot gets this done on short notice. Do I think he finishes him? Yes. But I wouldn't go so far to say that it's a submission or a knockout. I would, is double odds open? Can we do double odds yet? I don't think we could do, all right. Okay, winning method. I need double chance. Yeah, KO or submission. 240. 240. They're fighting 5 rounds. They're fighting 25 minutes, boys. I do believe that Mateusz Gamrot could get this done. I do. I really do. Look at that. Plus 240, bruh. Plus 240. That's not bad. That's not bad. You're fighting a dude coming off of a vicious loss. He's PTSD riddled. I don't think he's going to want to exchange with you. All right, I'm pretty confident in that. Let's move to this co-main event. Why is Deiveson Figueiredo the co-main event? I have no idea. That shit amazes me. How are you going to throw him in the co-main event? I mean, he is fighting Montel Jackson, but who has Montel Jackson fought besides Damone Blackshear? Daniel Marcos, who took him to an extremely competitive decision, is way less of a name than Damone Blackshear, and I get it. Damone Blackshear got his lights cut out extremely early in this fight against Montel Jackson, and I do think Montel Jackson is a beast. But I don't know, man. Deiveson Figueiredo's always been the dude has always been a monster, man. Always has been a monster. His submission threat is nice. He has great striking. He's good at keeping space. But coming off of 2 vicious losses, that Peter Yan loss was pretty bad, got completely dominated. And that Corey Sandhagen loss, he popped your knee in a 50-50 position. Corey Sandhagen went on the microphone to say that you didn't know what to do in a 50-50 position, and it seemed like you were not trained to deal with a 50-50 position. So if I'm Montel Jackson, I'm going in there. I'm ready to grapple, bro. Let's go. Montel Jackson, by the way, has never been knocked out or submitted. Only lost to the judges. Only lost to the judges. I think it's pretty clear that we are going Montel Quick Jackson. I think it's over. The line is done. Deiveson Figueiredo tried to save his career by moving up, but I think that's it. I think we are seeing an end of an era, boys. Charles Olivera, Deiveson Figueiredo, Justin Gaethje, John Jones, all the guys, they're gone. That's it. We're locking in Montel. Hey, we're locking in Montel Jackson. Where you at? Montel Jackson, where you at? Minus 325. Minus 325. Now, if this was a 5-round fight, I would put bro for a finish. But I don't know if he's gonna finish him. These are the lighter weight classes, boys. You guys know that they like to sit there and play fencing. They like to sit there and be like, let's play a rhythm game. Let's play a rhythm game, guys. Let's play some rhythm. That's what's going on in the lighter divisions, by the way. But we're gonna go Montel Jackson. Gonna figure that one out. Next fight on the card is Vicente Luque, by the way. Like, do you see what I'm talking about? Like, this card is absolutely mid. Like, absolutely mid. Vicente Luque, by the way, this is a main event of a fight night. And Vicente Luque is here. Right? Dude's resume looks like a literal Christmas tree. Has some weird wins in here. And even some weirder losses. Lost to Bilal Muhammad. Got knocked out by Geoff Neal. Redeemed himself in a fight against Rafael Dos Anjos. Everybody thought bro was back in action. Loses to Joaquin Buckley. Wins against Thorembe Greenbow, who in my opinion, I didn't really have a lot going into Thorembe Greenbow. I had Vicente Luque to win via submission. I thought that Thorembe was not... Bro wasn't cut out for it. I also thought he was going to go out there and beat Kevin Holland. You lose to Kevin Holland, you lose my respect, brother. I will never bet on Vicente Luque. But, to be fair, Joel Alvarez has 17 submission wins. Okay, so I think bro is pretty sized up and pretty ready to go on the mats against Vicente Luque, like in a grappling way of fighting. I don't know if he's fought that level of comp, man. Joel Alvarez, he's been in the UFC for a long time, since 2019, but I don't know, he hasn't really fought anybody except for Arman, who took him out of there in the second round. I'm going to be honest with you. But I believe in Joel Alvarez. You have a way better fucking record than Vicente Luque. Luque is 23-11. You are 22-3. All right, so I think it's pretty easy. It's pretty flat out easy there. You see the lines, minus 550. Bro is minus 550. Like, let's just think about that. That's a little rough. Moving on, boys. Joanna Dins versus Mario Pinto. Now, Joanna Dins I was kind of heavy on until he went out there and lost to Myson Tabora. But he did redeem himself fighting Alvin Haynes, even though this was like that fight against Alvin Haynes, boy, that was a great fight. What a great fight. Joanna Dins is kind of a savage. I have no idea who this Mario Pinto guy is. He has one fight in the UFC and he beat up Austin Lane. That's not really saying much considering bro's resume. Like Austin Lane's resume is really nothing to look at here. But this is like you flip a coin right here. It's a heavyweight. What is the line for this Joanna Dins fight? Basically even money. Mario Pinto's plus 144. I don't even think I would recommend putting bread on this. Unless you just want to put knockout. Unless you just want to put like this shit will end in knockout, but that's minus 140. Literally minus 1. It's like honestly not even worth it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This fight card is absolutely so mid. It's like fucking despicable, bro. Lucas Almeida, by the way. Lucas, a 1-3 in his last 4. Michael Ashwell making his not making his UFC debut, but essentially because he went out there and got his ass beat by Bilal Jayoke. How did he get into the UFC, by the way? Because he lost his Contender Series fight and then went out there and won Fury FC and then, for whatever reason, got signed to the UFC. It's like literally the battle of L's going on in this card. Look, another guy, 1-3 in his last 4. What about Kanje Ofu? Oh wow, 1-2 in his last 3, and the one that he won was an exhibition. It was an exhibition fight. He lost his last 2 fights in the UFC. Like, why am I even like attempting to cover this bullshit? You understand? Like, why is this even that high up? Vitor Pereño. 1-2 in his last 3. Lost to Dustin Jacoby, by the way. Facing Thomas Peterson. All right, you beat up Dontel Mays, and you got knocked out by Shamil Gaziev. In the first round. I'm just so heavy on Walter Walker. That's it. Like, this fight card is fucking Mid, bro. Mid. Send me to next week, please. Next week, boys, is RDR versus Anthony Hernandez. I want to cover that. All right? I want to cover that. All right, man. That's it for the locks of the week. What a shitty episode of locks of the week. We have three. We have four. All right. All right. A little four pick parlay, bro. Oh, wait. My parlay cannot be placed because I picked Gamrot to win by KO TKO. I have to do Gamrot straight. Whatever, bro. Plus 185 for a little 3-pick parlay. I think this is lockable. All right, man. I'll see you guys in a little bit.